Warriors beat the Miami Heat 120-118 at Oracle Arena Sunday. Here are my 3 big takeaways from the contest. 1. The Four Horsemen of the NBA Apocalypse ride again. Photo by Harry Howe, Getty Images. Every member of the Warriors' 5 All-Star starting lineup finished with a negative plus-minus rating on Sunday, but make no mistake, the Big Four, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, were outstanding in their own ways against the Heat. There was a big reason for that incongruence, and we'll get to it in a moment. There was nothing confusing about Durant's evening, though. He carried the Warriors to the finish line of the contests, making every one of the Dubs' field goals in the final 4:05. Durant finished with 39 points, including a massively necessary, game-tying, cold-blooded three-pointer with 44 seconds remaining in the game. That shot was Durant's only made three-pointer, but he went an astounding 15 of 17 from 2 and 10 of 11 on mid-range shots in the contest. Those are numbers players in the mid-range happy eras of decades past only could have dreamed of posting. I've described Durant's mid-range game as a zig in a league full of zags, but he called it yang to the three-point hitting Sunday. Let's go with his verbiage. After all, it's the same principle. It's an important principle, too, because Durant's mid-range mastery is the second kind of smoke the Warriors need in the playoffs. As much as the joy of a free-flowing Curry and Green-led motion offense enthralls, every great team needs to have an unstoppable, ruthless shot maker on their team. Durant is certainly that, and he's efficient as all hell, to boot. The saying in boxing is that styles make fights. The Warriors will show some strife, at times, as they try to mash multiple styles, but the fact that they can shape-shift to fit any kind of fight is perhaps the most unfair thing about this team. Sunday's game was a reminder of that ability. And it was a reminder that no one on the Warriors shape-shifts better than Durant. When he clicks in defensively, he's arguably the best player in the NBA. What else would you call someone who is so adroit on and off the ball, in and outside of the three-point line, on both offense and defense? In addition to Durant's 39, Stephen Curry chipped in 25 points, making 5 three-pointers in the contest. Curry was woeful to start the game, like many Warriors, who clearly dislike the 5:30 p.m. Sunday starts, if their play in such games is any indication, but after 2 of the worst misses you'll ever see from him, including an air ball on a 3, the rain started to pour. What was most impressive about Curry's performance on Sunday were his hustle plays and defense. Curry has somehow garnered the reputation of a one-way player, but anyone who says that going forward should be forced to watch Sunday's game. Yes, Heat guard Josh Richardson had an outstanding 37.8 three-pointer performance. That was mostly outrageous shot luck. Sometimes you're hot, and Richardson was red-hot Sunday. I thought Curry, who pulled plenty of Richardson duty, was strong on and off the ball on the defensive end and was a plus player off the ball on offense. Those are the little things that don't show up in the box score but go a long way to helping a team win. It's inarguable that Thompson is a great defender, and right now, I'd argue, he's on one of his best defensive runs in his career. He's simply suffocating as of late. How this man has never made an All-NBA defensive team or been in the conversation for DPOY is beyond me. Again, the box score won't help his cause, but the eye test tells you so much. Thompson is among the best defenders in the league, and it's time he gets the recognition for it. Oh, he chipped in 29 points on 6 made three-pointers. Ho-hum. Green only had 5 points, but his 14 assists tied the Warriors' best mark this season, and he was nails on the defensive end, particularly in the final minute, though that's to be expected these days. Green is in the top 10 in the NBA in assists this season, along with fellow honest-to-goodness big man Nick Jokic. What a time for passing big men, it warms my heart, and outside of Kyle Lowry, none of those players has a better assist-to-turnover ratio than Draymond. Considering Green's turnover bender to start the season, that's insane. Indeed, Green has a 4-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio in 2019. Other big men could never. 2. Big bench burst. Eric Crabb, Bay Area News Group. Again, the Warriors didn't show up for the first quarter of Sunday's game. Body clocks are real, folks, but the bench picked up the game time through in a big way and helped the Dubs climb back into the contest. The standout, Jonas Jerebko, who has been stellar in the last 3 games, posting a plus 53 rating. Jerebko was plus 18 in 12 minutes Sunday, scoring 7 points in the contest. Good things happened when he was on the court, and it's impossible to argue that he was a passive bystander in that scenario. The Warriors were without Andre Iguodala on Sunday, making the rotations a bit funky, but it's worth wondering if Jerebko, through solid play, has usurped Alfonso McKinnie in the Dubs rotation. The latter only played 4 minutes Sunday. That's something to keep an eye on, for sure. Sean Livingston didn't score and Quinn Cook had only 2 points, but they deserve praise for their performances as well. That two-man combination hasn't seen much run or much success this season, but I like what I saw Sunday. Livingston's length can cover up for Cook's physical shortcomings on the defensive end, and they play a nice complementary game on the offensive end as well. Perhaps it was a one-off. Maybe I'm ascribing value that should be placed to the other 3 players on the floor to these 2 guards, but I'd like to see more of the tandem. 3. The pick-and-roll. Eric Crabb, Bay Area News Group. Things had been leaning this way for a while. This moment was inevitable and looming, but the Heat went all in on Sunday. They ran pick-and-roll at DeMarcus Cousins again and again and again. Cousins was never an elite defender before his Achilles injury, so it's not surprising that he's a step or 2 behind in that area as he finds his rhythm after 11 months off the court. Obviously, Cousins is such an offensive force that he's hard to keep off the court. We saw that skill at times Sunday, but boy, it was tough to watch the Heat exploit him with ease, particularly down the stretch of that contest. The Warriors closed with Cousins on Sunday, a surprise, given the struggles in pick-and-roll defense, and the Heat running so much at him without remorse. But Warriors coach Steve Kerr made a clever adjustment in the final minute. He shifted Cousins to the corner, away from the pick-and-roll. The adjustment worked and the Warriors won, thanks in large part to Cousins' offensive rebound and free throws in the final seconds. Until Cousins has his legs under him, Kerr and his staff will have to continue to do things like that to compensate for the big man's bum wheel. And there's no guarantee that once Cousins is back to 100% or as close as he can get with that he won't be slagging off on pick-and-roll defense, putting undue pressure on the other defender to guard 2 guys at once or for help defenders to overcompensate on rotations. Someone else will go follow the Heat game plan after the success we saw Sunday. I'm curious how that will go when Iguodala is back in the lineup.